Sani Bonani, goeiedag, hello and welcome. It's good to be back with you guys from a rather overcast and cold KwaZulu-Natal, North Coast today. And it's good to be with you guys live at the Waterhole on Wild Earth with myself, Sean Taylor, and the awesome Wild Earth crew. Thanks for joining us. And I'm looking forward to guiding you guys for the next 2 hours through the wonderful spectacle that is Africam's waterhole cameras. We'll be traveling all over Africa via the comfort of our homes and offices together. Hopefully we'll bump into a few favorites like the chap on television right now. Guys, don't forget, we love talking to you. We love hearing from you. So please join the conversation via our various social media channels, which will pop up on screen shortly. Or send us a WhatsApp and let us know how you're doing and what questions you have, and I'd love to answer them and get to know you guys a little bit better. So yeah, welcome. It's good to be back, and we're going to start the show as always at Aldonio Lodge. Now, I was sent some information on the elephants here at Aldonio, and you guys have been given these elephants names, right? You're going to have to help me out with these names, guys. I know there's a few, so yeah, just let me know who's on screen. I'll try to figure out the names as well, but yeah, I need to get to know these guys. And at the moment he's just owning the waterhole, and you can see the zebra at the back there. It's such a funny thing, you know. It's like a soap opera. The impala kind of there, and the zebra in the background, and they're all trying to figure out, should we go near this guy or not. It looks like a beautiful day there. Amazing. Iris, good afternoon. You are asking how many elephants are generally in a herd. So Iris, it actually completely depends on the area in terms of size and also food availability throughout the year. It's never a set thing. So what is always a determining factor is the herd. The main herd is always led by a matriarch, which is the lead female, who will be will have her eldest daughter's second in command, who she'll be passing her knowledge of the area down to. And this matriarch will know where the food is, where the water is, where the safe areas are, the best places to rest during the day when they've got little ones. And then the rest of the herd will be made up of females that stay in their natal herd, and then young males up until around about the age of about 15 or so, until they get kicked out, their hormones kick in, and eventually they get chased out. But the size of that herd will depend on the area. Obviously, the smaller the reserve, the smaller the herd of elephants, because as you guys know, elephants are extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? They damage everything they walk around. So they damage the trees, they flatten the grass, they rip the bushes out. I mean, these guys are eating for 18 to 20 hours a day. So, they're destructive. There's the word, destructive. So in a small reserve, they've got to be managed. So their numbers will be managed so that the biodiversity of the area is not affected. But then the bigger the area, the more herds you can have. And generally speaking, you'll find in the summertime, you'll get the natal herds. And normally from my experience, those natal herds are normally only around about anything from say 10 to 20. But then in the winter time, you'll often find 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 herds coming together at a water source. And it looks like a massive herd of elephants have come through, but actually it's small little herds of say 10 to 20 that have come together and are tolerating each other for food and water. So I hope that answers your question, Iris. You see there's quite a few starlings flying around the water there as well. I think it looks like quite a hot day there. See the starlings flying in and out there, the beautiful iridescent color as they come in and land. Stunning birds. Very, very common, and actually really cool birds to take photos of as well, because you often find them around picnic spots and around the lodges. I see the zebra starting to move. I wonder whether they'll come in and check. And then I see this. So this is supposed to be. Is this floppy eared, guys? Have I got that right? I think it's floppy eared. Going for a bit of a scratch. So now that we've identified him as floppy-eared, he's just going to leave. I think he was waiting there to make sure that we got his name right, and now off he goes. Hope I didn't offend you. Cheers, floppy-eared. Probably see you in 10 minutes' time. So Kathy, you've got a comment for me. So you got a question for me about regarding a herd size. Madikwe currently has an overpopulation problem regarding ellies. So Kathy, I am not. I don't have the information on hand about Madikwe's overpopulation issues. So I wouldn't be able to comment on that particular reserve. However, I will say that Southern Africa as a region, we do have too many elephants, and in some cases it is a bit of a problem in terms of it damages the biodiversity, and I know a lot of the reserves have got pretty stringent kind of policies that they have in place for the elephants, but it's a very, very difficult conversation to have because it most of the time will involve culling, and it's that is a very emotional subject. It is a management plan in terms of how to manage them, but no one really likes to talk about it, and no one really likes to do it. So yeah, it is a bit of a problem, Kathy. So we've now moved to Mwila Lodge here in Bites. And I mean, it just looks like we've managed to find our way into a conference, a zebra conference, by the looks of things. Who knows what they're discussing? Probably the irritation of the wildebeest that follow them around all the time. It's probably one of the topics of discussion. But check out all of them there, and the water. You can see that water's drying up quickly.
This is an unbelievable afternoon.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
Would you like to know the difference between a male and female wildebeest? You can ask me questions like this in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
If you love watching Wild Earth, here's a little tip. Become a member. You can gain access to the channel ad-free, you can rewind and re-watch sightings, and you can join our Tuesday live safaris. There's also behind the scenes videos, fireside chats, and every Safari Live episode, whenever you want it. It's just a better way to stay connected to nature.
Kind of where we are with our elephants in southern Africa is there's just way too many for our areas to actually look after. When I was studying wildlife management, we were given the number of one elephant needs to have a space of 1,000 hectares in its lifetime. So 1,000 hectares per one elephant. So a small elephant herd would need at least 10,000 hectares to roam around in. So you can just imagine how many elephants. You think about Chobe and Hwangi during the dry season, where 50, 60, 70,000 elephants come into that area. It's unmanageable. So yeah, that's pretty much what causes it. Just no space, Maximus, unfortunately. I like how these guys are just chilling here at the waterhole. And don't you know, sometimes I think to myself, like, that water just must be so gross. It must be warm. I mean, let's be honest, it won't be the most, sanitized water in the world. So certainly if we went down as humans and drank out of there, we'd have problems at least within 45 minutes. So I often think, how do these guys tolerate? There's some animals, zebra being one of them, that they just seem to be able to tolerate the most hectic water, whereas elephants are such snobs. But I suppose you need that balance out in the bush. You need some that'll just drink whatever, and some that'll prefer, and they dig. And actually zebra dig as well. I see there's some elephants at the top there as well. So zebra and elephant actually dig. So in the dry season, it's not uncommon to see zebra going down and digging in the water. The elephants, obviously, I'm sure you guys know, will dig in the water as well. Well, dig in the sand, should I say? And so I see there's some wildebeest there as well. It's like the Lion King back there. It's amazing. And don't you just love the sound of zebra braying? I just love that sound. There, the wildebeest there. Knowing wildebeest, they've just come in to be like, hey guys, what's going on? What's happening? What are you guys seeing? That elephant that's busy drinking in the background there is absolutely massive. He's huge. Gee whiz. Looks like there's a few males hanging around there. Isn't Africa just stunning, guys? Hey, it's like living in a postcard, honestly. It's like spending your day in a postcard every day. It's so cool. Hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And so I thought the theme of this Live at the Waterhole today would be to give you guys some questions that my guests ask me on Game Drive. So every now and again I'll get guests that'll ask me a question, and as guides, I've been guiding now for nearly 15 years, so you generally have most topics covered. But every now and again, and my Achilles heel is flowers, and every now and again a flower, and I know it's going to happen because it's rained. The flowers are starting to grow, and while I'm driving I see a flower that I've never seen before, and I just wait for it, because for some reason guests will always look at that flower and go, hey, I bet you Sean doesn't know this flower, and then they'll ask me what flower it is, and I generally just have to say, I'm sorry, I've never seen that flower before. And you can feel the room, the energy in the room has changed. But yeah, some questions I get are actually quite interesting, and it's how us guides learn. You know, we don't know everything, so I thought I would pass over some questions as we go through today's broadcast, and throw some questions out to you guys, and see what you guys think. Put you guys in the guide seat and see what you think, and then I'll give it like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll answer the questions for you guys. I hope you'll enjoy that. This is stunning. Wow. I'm sure all the photographers out there are just, this is, I know a lot of people that aren't necessarily into wildlife photography will think that this is this must be the most amazing thing to take photos of. But let me tell you, this is a very difficult scene to take a photo of. There's just so much action happening that to get a decent photo from all of this, I mean, the elephant helps obviously with that contrast, but yeah, if there's any photographers out there, we've got basically midday light, so it's going to be overexposed, especially with that elephant covered in mud. Let me know, how would you deal with taking a photo of this scene right now? How would you manage? What settings would you use? I might steal a few of them if you don't mind. Beautiful, man. I love it. So guys, let me throw a question out there for you. This is a very, very, very common question I get from my guests. They often ask me, is there much variation in the stripe patterns of individual zebra? So let me know, guys. Do you think there's variation in the patterns of individual zebras? Are they the same? Are they different? Let me know. I just love how they walk. It looks like they're listening to rap music. I often think to myself, if they've got a hidden Walkman and they're listening to Dr. Dre, that's the first song that comes into my head. Dr. Dre, and they're busy, because zebra look like that kind of, that looks like that kind of music would be their thing, right? They don't really look like rock and rollers, although they do have that punk hairstyle, to be fair. But just the way they're nodding their heads, I think we're talking Dr. Dre. That's what I think. Possibly they're hitting 90s rap. Maybe they're Vanilla Ice fans. I'm not sure. So Kathy, you are the first to answer the question, and you are correct. 10 points for you. 50 randjies for you. You're saying each zebra's stripe pattern is unique, and that's absolutely correct. So their stripe pattern is like our fingerprints, essentially. So each one is individual, and it's very important because when the fowls or falls are born, the first 7 days of their life is very important. One, because they need to learn their mother's stripe pattern, and so they stay very close to her flank, and we'll be able to pick her out kind of in a crowd, which is phenomenal to just to start with. And also that first 7 days, zebra have got a hindgut fermentation system, essentially. So the cellulose is digested in the hindgut when they eat. And what happens that first 7 days is the youngsters will also feed on the herd's dung, which I think would be a really great spot for a Mentos or something to fill in right here, because they probably do need a breath mint after this. But they'll feed on the dung, and what that does is it introduces the bacteria into their gut. And that gets that bacteria going, almost like a probiotic, so that when they do start feeding on grass, they're able to handle that massive cellulose kind of burning that happens with not just with the zebra, but with equines in general. I love it. Everyone's getting involved. Lady Macbeth, greetings, milady. You're saying each zebra's stripe pattern is unique, 100%. Bundu B, you're saying for 1 million zebras, there are 1 million patterns. Bundu B, you bang on about that. Just imagine trying to learn all these patterns here. It'd be impossible. Absolutely impossible. It's crazy, man. But now we have a question from the cat father. The cat father is asking, would it be possible to cultivate the Sahara Desert of northern Africa? Would that fix the overpopulation in most of African animals? So, cat father, that area that you're talking about, the Sahara Desert, is extremely barren, and is a completely different ecosystem to anything that these animals would be used to. So there might be your Namibian and kind of dry animals like your oryx, springbok, and stuff like that would be able to do it, but they aren't necessarily the problem. With elephants, if you had to, say, put them on a truck and drive them up there, they are used to having permanent water pretty much everywhere, and they also are only used to a certain area's vegetation and a certain area's kind of dangers. And if you put them there, they just wouldn't know. They would not know how to survive. They wouldn't know where to get food. They wouldn't know where to get water. They wouldn't know what they could eat to not make them sick. It would be a huge problem. So it's a good idea because it's such a massive area, but it's a massive kind of unpopulated area for a reason, unfortunately. So it wouldn't work, sadly. We're heading back to Aldania Lodge now, and these boys have decided to grace us with their presence, and we've got a giraffe having a bit of a drink there.
For years, we've shared virtual wildlife. Now, let's experience it for real. I'm Lauren Arthur, and I'd love to show you my amazing home here in the Greater Kruger of South Africa. This 5-night journey is an exclusive connection to my piece of untamed Africa. I live here in these gorgeous landscapes surrounded by epic wildlife. The wild is calling, so come and join me.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
hyenas love bathing.
Poor boy. He must be full of ticks. See, the other ones also. Oh, shame. I wonder if it irritates them. I wonder if it's, because often I see them walking around with them, and very rarely do I see them getting irritated. I've seen a giraffe before just covered in them. And I just think to myself, how are you putting up with this? I mean, I'm ticklish. It would kill me. But yeah, I think the only time I've ever seen them bug a giraffe is when a giraffe's had a wound and they're pecking the maggots out of the wound. That's the only time, because it obviously must hurt. But those maggots are really important because the maggots actually feed on dead tissue, and it allows the tissue with the new blood coming in to survive. So they're actually really important. So sometimes these birds actually do a bit more damage than they should in terms of getting rid of those maggots. I want to shout out to Matipa, Jonathan, Humble, Kujo. I hope I got your name right. All the way from Ghana. Matipa, very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. And then I've got a question from Jonah. Welcome, Jonah. Thank you so much. You have asked, are giraffe hoofs similar to any other herbivore's hoofs? So, Jonah, yes. They are very, very similar. They are what we term as odd-toed ungulates, and so they have essentially what it looks like two toes, for lack of a more scientific term to it. So when you're tracking them, they essentially have a hoof that would be similar to like a kudu or a waterbuck or something like that. So it's very, very similar, just obviously a lot bigger. I'm sad that Eland has moved off. I love Eland. And then Kopotso, welcome. Thank you so much. You are asking, how do elephants and giraffes avoid conflict when sharing the same waterhole? So, elephants are, and I'm sure, Kopotso, if you are a regular viewer, you'll see that sometimes the elephants are a little bit more aggressive with the animals coming around the water than any other ones, and at certain times, right? But with the animals, it's all about competition. So obviously, as the water starts drying up, the more competition will come with drinking, and the less kind of tolerant the elephants will be. But when it comes to being in an area with food, the elephants are what we call mixed feeders, so they will eat everything. They will eat leaves, they will eat branches, they'll eat grass, they'll eat whatever they can, vegetation-wise, flowers, whatever. Whereas your giraffe are browsers. They feed mostly on leaves. I've seen them every now and again in very dry situations feed on grass and stuff, but that's very, very rare. Most of the time they're feeding on leaves. And it's because of that they don't really they're not really within competition of each other. So besides the water, there's no need to get aggressive with them, because they're not in any way, shape or form going to upset their day. Beautiful, man. I love it. Are you guys ready for your next question? I think you are. I think I'm behind a bit on asking questions. So a question I get asked quite often when we're sitting watching elephants like this, a guest will say to me, how much does a fully grown elephant eat per day? Do you guys know? Let me know. How much do you think a fully grown elephant will eat during a day? A fully grown male elephant will generally weigh about 6 tons. And a female elephant around about the 4.5 ton kind of what's the name? I'm giving you a clue there. Okay. So how much do they eat? Let me know. So I preempted your question, Ollie. I got a question from Ollie the oxpecker. I didn't know oxpeckers had access to WhatsApp. This is awesome. Ollie, thank you so much for your question. You have asked me how big is an elephant. So like I just said, males get to about 6 tons, but they can go over 7 tons depending on the area. Females sit at about between 4 and 5 tons. And they are our biggest land mammal. Nothing beats these guys. They are absolutely massive. Huge things. Kathy, you are on form today. Seriously, if I had some gold stars, you would have 2 on your forehead. Very impressed. Kathy has answered my question already and said probably 10% of its body weight, and that is correct. They generally will eat 10% of their body weight, and that's why I gave you the weight of them. So a fully grown male elephant could eat up to 600 kilograms of dry mass in the day. 600 kilograms. Unbelievable. I mean, my kids probably eat 600 kilograms of bread every day. They're growing so big. But, I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely massive. I see my friends are coming in from the right there. That is not a hard and fast rule, though, Kathy. Depending on the area that they're in, if there's some highly nutritious food or very fibrous food, that number will drop. Because for them, obviously, it's to get enough nutrition into their system. But yeah, 10% of their body weight. Bang on. I love it. And we've got some helmeted guinea fowl that have graced us with their presence at the waterhole here. I call them the roadblocks because pretty much every morning on game drive, these guys are on the road and they don't move off. They just never go anywhere. They're very cute. And actually, these guinea fowls, when I'm walking with guests out in the bush, they actually help me quite a lot. Sometimes with knowing if there's a predator in the area. Because quite often, so they roost in trees at night. So in early morning, it's not uncommon, especially in winter, to see them up in the trees still when you start walking. But if you get to like mid-morning or in the afternoon and you see the guinea fowls in the tree and they're busy calling, it's a very good sign that there's a predator somewhere around, and it puts us guards on red alert to try and see what's actually going on. So they help us out quite a bit when we're walking and we can't see over the next bush or over the next little hill. They help us quite a lot. So Kapotso, you answered my question and said they eat between 100 and 300 kilograms. And yeah, sure, that also, like I said, depending on the area that they're in, 100 might be too little. But certainly from 300 kilograms upwards, that would sit right, depending on the area that they're in. Check out their little toes. I think he needs a manicure. I don't think he'll like it, but I think he needs one. Look how delicate that trunk is. So, the original jacuzzi. So that trunk has about 50,000 muscles in it, just in the trunk. It is just the most amazing. Oh, now he's getting grumpy with the eland. It's a beautiful male eland on the right there, with all the birds on him. You see that beautiful dewlap, which is that like hanging fold of skin on the neck, and those nice thick horns. I'm hoping they come down so we get a nice close-up, but it looks like the 4 of these guys are dominating. I see. I've started an amazing little competition here between Khopotso and Kathy. I love it. So I'm going to throw another one out to you guys. Let's see if you can get this one. I need to try stump you. I need to try remember some harder questions that I've been asked. I'm trying to think now. Okay. So this was a question that I had read something about a year before. And I knew the answer, but it was a tough question. If I hadn't have read this, I wouldn't have known. So, Kathy, Khopotso, and everyone else, are you ready? Can an elephant withdraw water from its stomach? Can it withdraw water from its stomach? And you can't just say yes or no. You have to give me some kind of information on it. And no Googling. See if you guys got that. Now let me move over to, I'm ignoring, guys, listen, let's forget about that for a second. We're moving over to Mantis Founders Lodge here, and here we have what I affectionately like to call chubby unicorns. You've got 2 white rhino. This is just next level. How awesome is this? Bush tanks. Oh, wow. And we have an Egyptian goose. The cameras... Yeah, the camera. So the camera's having an interesting day by the looks of things. I think it's on fish watch. I think it's tired of the rhino and has gone into fish watch. So we'll try and get back to those rhino. Okay, here we go. Fish watch has now ended. We are back. There's baboons in the background. We have an Egyptian goose in the front, and guys, we have the most phenomenal sighting here of white rhino. Oh, and it looks like the youngster's going to suckle. I'll keep quiet and try and see if you can hear the noise that it makes. Little squeaks. Wow, this is just unbelievable.
this unfolds in front of you.
Step into the heart of Africa from the comfort of your home.
Female leopard tracks over here.
Join our expert guides for a live 3-hour safari where every moment is real, unscripted, and unforgettable. Ask questions.
Animals rely on their senses.
Share your thoughts and be part of the experience as we explore together. Safari Live.
Guys. Mom's having a bit of a rest as well, putting her chin on the rock there. How cool was that? So it's not actually uncommon to see white rhino in small groups. I'm fortunate enough to be able to go to Hlui quite often with my family camping, and we often see little kind of groups of maybe between 6 and 10 white rhino moving around together. So it's not very uncommon. You often see the males on their own, especially when they're on territorial walks, but it's not uncommon to see a few of them chilling in a group. Whereas with the black rhino, yeah, they're not as friendly with each other as the white rhino are. But I remember watching an interesting study done in Namibia, where black rhinos were actually meeting up secretly at waterholes in the late evening. Very shy animals, so they actually started using that infrared technology, and they would kind of go up and sniff each other and have a look at each other and kind of move off. It was very awkward, but they seem to have some kind of social structure, but certainly not cut as deep as these white rhino do. Old Mom's gazing off into the sunshine. Oh, that baby is too much. Oh, okay, so listen, I went off track with these guys. So, gee whiz, you guys, I don't know what's going on. I need to try stump you guys. This is going to be like, I need to find something to stump you, because Lady Macbeth, Granny Mango, BBC, you all came back to me and pretty much told me that they actually have a pouch in their mouth / throat / neck / shoulder between the 3 or 4 of you. And you're 100% correct. So they can actually store about 7 liters of water in a pouch called a pharyngeal pouch. So it's near it's in their throat, basically the back of their throat, and they can store about 7 liters. It just sits behind, kind of on the base of their tongue, and it's thought to be used for the elephants that had to move up into the drier areas. That if they have not been able to come across water in a while, that they've got some water that they can use to either drink or even to give to the calves as well. Isn't that amazing? So it's the original, we just moved over to Tembe Elephant Park, but okay, no worries, guys. We'll see if we can get back to the rhino. But I don't know if any of you are runners, but you have those backpacks at the back that have got those bladders. We call them bladders. It's like the original bladder. I mean, it's almost like we stole all these awesome ideas from nature, which is probably what we did. Anyway, we are at Tembe Elephant Park, and amazingly enough, there's elephants. It's so much greener there. Gee whiz. But we had a lot of late rain up in northern parts of KZN. We actually have been getting rain pretty much all winter as the cold fronts have been coming in. So I'm not surprised that it's so nice and green that side. But these guys are loving life. Well, seeing as though we're on elephants and I see there's some elephants in the background busy flapping their ears, I'm going to ask you another question that was asked by a guest of mine not too long ago. We came across a herd of elephants, and it was a breeding herd, and we were busy sitting, and I was busy chatting to them like I'm doing now, and one of my guests stopped me and said, "Is that elephant upset with us? Should we not be moving because it's flapping its ears?" So you guys tell me, when elephants flap their ears, are they flapping their ears because they are angry? Is there another possible reason for the fact that they're flapping their ears? Let me know what you think. I love the different dynamics with the elephants. Like, you'd love to know what's being said. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are they saying to each other? Because pretty much most of their communication is within a frequency that we can't hear. And so there's a big conversation going on with the one on the right who just kind of wagged his left arm, should I say, and then the one just left of screen. The one left of screen looks like he's been insulted horribly and is now quite upset. So I'd love to know. Sometimes I'd love to kind of just get involved with the conversation. It would probably be hilarious listening to these guys. Nope, not going to have any of that. But realistically, guys, what is happening there is, with all these male elephants around, that is just a sign and a show of dominance. So constantly the males are kind of play fighting and pushing each other around and jumping on top of each other, and it's just essentially dominance, just to create a hierarchy, because these elephants go out into the bush, but they often bump into each other around, especially if there's a breeding herd that's got 1 or 2 females that are in estrus. And so that dominance hierarchy is quite important at that moment to try and alleviate any fighting. Because I've seen 2 bull elephants having a proper full-on fight, two evenly matched males, and it is actually quite scary. It's like a car accident happening. And so to avoid that from happening, that dominance hierarchy helps quite a lot. So I've got some, I mean, that was a fairly simple question, but I mean, jeepers, I feel like I need to go. I'm going to start asking vegetation questions because I think you guys know your animals too much. But Kathy, I think it's Lira, if I'm not mistaken, Lira. I hope I get your name right. And of course, Kopotso is back in the action here. All of you have said that the main reason they flap their ears is to cool themselves down, and that is 100% correct. So it does look like an aggressive behavior, but essentially, if you think about how big these guys are, they have to. I mean, obviously, we've seen them spraying themselves with water on the broadcast here. We've seen them cover themselves in mud, which are two ways that they regulate their body temperature. But the main way they do it is with their ears, because their ears make up about 20% of the surface area of their body, and the veins in their ears sit very, very close to the skin. So while they are flapping their ears, they reckon, I've read that about 12 liters of blood per minute flows through those veins. And so by flapping their ears and pushing cool air over those veins, they can actually cool their blood down by about 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. I mean, that's huge. It's like a giant air conditioner, and perfect for our hot summers here. If any of our international guests who haven't visited our shores yet, our summer times are pretty warm. I can tell you that. And particularly Zimbabwe, Botswana, in October, we call it Suicide Month, because it is just stifling hot. No wind, no rain, dry, and just 40, 50 degrees Celsius, which is well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can just imagine these guys having to feed and be out in the sun all day. This is a very important adaptation.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. I grew up mostly in the Lowveld. I grew up here pretty much on the southern side of Kruger National Park, a place called Marlow Park, for most of my years. Something surprising about myself, I did play drums in a band for many years. Best sighting I presented, we found Palumba in the 2 cubs, and the cubs are just way big.
Chidzana na tsima ra ntumbuluko
How cool is this?
Reasons it could be. They will generally collar elephants to kind of monitor their movements and to kind of see which areas they go into at certain times of the year, and so on and so forth. They also do it, they'll sometimes collar a matriarch and then kind of watch where she leads her in bigger areas, where she leads them. But then often what will happen too is the collared elephants will be used for research. So, if they are doing any kind of gene studies in an area, or whether they are wanting to see if there's any like diseases or anything that have come in, they will obviously find the elephants that they have collared, and they will dart them and then do the blood tests and everything on them. So it's basically for management. And don't worry, those collars are loosely fitted. It doesn't affect them, and in the least, it doesn't affect their feeding, doesn't affect their swallowing, doesn't affect mating, feeding of the youngsters. It's those collars are, they probably within the first 24 to 48 hours forget that they are there. Just so peaceful. It's like ASMR. I just love it. I can watch elephants. Often I'll be able to sit with guests and just for an hour, 2 hours, just sit and watch elephants. They're just so fascinating. But back to work. Nathaniel, you are asking me, could an Ellie survive with 3 legs or without a trunk? So I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Nathaniel or Nathaniel. I apologize, either one of the two. So could it survive with 3 legs or without a trunk? Yes, they could, because they would have the support of their family around them. So I personally know of an elephant in Kruger National Park, in the central part of Kruger, that has got basically has lost, I'd say, about 70 to 80% of her trunk, and she makes do. The family, I'm sure when she was a calf, helped. We're not sure how she lost that trunk. She wasn't born like that. Could have been, most probably was a crocodile when she was young, because when they're very small, it takes them about 3 months or so to learn to use that trunk effectively, because like I said, there's about 50 to 60,000 muscles in that thing, so it takes a while to get used to, and they often just plonk their face in the water and drink with their mouth. And so my assessment of it is she probably put her head down and a croc grabbed it and ripped it off. And a leg, absolutely, they probably could survive as long as the infection cleared up or didn't get an infection. Would a male survive with 3 legs? That's an interesting question, because they end up going out on their own and don't have the support of the herd. I very much doubt whether they would ever be able to mate, because they would just get attacked by the other males when they try to, and chased off. And falling down and having lions or hyenas around, it would be tricky. So yeah, I think for the females, sure, I think there's a very good chance of survival. For the males, I'm not so sure. I suppose it would depend on just the circumstances and how lucky he is. Kopotso, you're saying it is beautiful, except if lions joined. We could be so lucky, right? Imagine in the middle of the screen at the back there, a pride of lions decided to saunter down to the waterhole. It would be great. But, lions are scared of ellies, eh? These things are massive, and elephants won't tolerate lions, especially breeding herds with youngsters. So those lions would be very wary. If they decided to come down, they would probably go off onto the edges there to the water, kind of at the top left of the screen right now, and would probably feed there. They wouldn't come all the way through to the elephants because they know they would be chased off anyway. But Kopotso, let's try and make it happen. Let's use the secret to our advantage and try and make this happen. And we've got some beautiful Inyala. I don't see any males at the moment. Just looks like there's some female Inyala there. I'm sure a few of you are like, oh, are you sure that's not kudu? So Inyala and kudu are from the same family, spiral horned antelope. So they do look fairly similar, although the female Inyala are kind of more kind of a brick red color, if that is even a color. Is that a kudu coming up? I can't see properly. No, it's not. But yeah, beautiful Inyala. And very common to see the youngsters together like this. The youngsters and the females, their herd structure is a breeding herd. So it'll be females with their youngsters and young males, which eventually will get kicked out by the time they get to 2-3 years old. And then the males generally form a bachelor herd, and they will only come into the main herd when it's time to mate. And then off they go again. They have no parental duties whatsoever. There's a little one there. So northern KZN there are plenty of Inyala. If you go to Kruger National Park, or kind of your kind of further north, even staying east but further north, you don't see as many Inyala. But KZN, especially the north coast, there are Inyala everywhere. They're very, very common. Especially they like the sand forests that we get along the coast, Isimangaliso, and then further out into Shishlui. So they're quite a common antelope, even though you don't see them that often in other places. They're fairly common. Morgan, good afternoon to you. And you are asking, are impala and blue wildebeest territorial? So Morgan, impala, no. Not in the greater scheme of things. They have their rutting season at the beginning of the year, kind of in the middle to end of our summer, and they will try, and they're obviously jumping around, attacking each other, the males. But towards the end of that period, they'll be trying to herd females into their harem, as we call it. And at that stage, they might be what we would term as territorial, because they won't let any other males around the harem. Otherwise, that male will steal. But once the rutting season finishes, they don't have any set territories. They have what we call a home range, which are areas where certain herds will not necessarily protect, but will hang around a lot where there's water and food, but they don't necessarily defend it. They're quite happy to move off. Blue wildebeest, on the other hand, are territorial. So the males are can be quite grumpy. I've actually been chased off by a male blue wildebeest on foot once out of his territory. I heard him snorting at me, didn't take him seriously, and he chased me off. Couldn't believe it. So they are quite territorial, and they're so funny as well, because the males never, it doesn't seem like they ever interact with the herd. They always stand off like 50 meters or so away from the herd and watch them, almost like, that's my family, I love my family, look at all of them, look how they eat, I'm so proud of them. And he, you know, and it's almost like a trophy for him. I think realistically the reason for that would be to just kind of watch around and make sure no other wildebeest come in. But yeah, they are very territorial, the blue wildebeest, whereas the impala, nah, not so much.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. This is action-packed. My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so, because I've... best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Wild Earth Travel's newsletter is your passport to a magical journey. Explore exclusive travel options featuring special offers at stunning Wild Earth locations, and all hosted by your favorite presenters. Don't miss out. Head over to our website and subscribe to the Wild Earth Travel newsletter today and stay in the know on all our unforgettable adventures. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
See how all our starling friends are out again. See, there's a spring. Is that a springbok? Are my eyes deceiving me? I'm almost positive I saw a springbok move off to the right of the screen there. we're very lucky to actually see these giraffe drinking like this. You know, when you're out in the field and you're in the game drive vehicle, or certainly when you're on foot, they generally are not. They're not that. They don't fancy getting into that vulnerable position to drink when there's people around. So this is such an awesome kind of eye level view of them drinking. It's really cool, man. So I was asked a question not too long ago. We were busy sitting watching giraffe, and one of my guests said to me, these are such funny looking animals. They're so unique. Are they related to any other animal? So I'm going to extend that to you guys. Do you know of any animal that is related to a giraffe? And I'm not talking about foot structure or anything. I mean a direct relation to them. Let me know. What do you guys think? So nice to see them relaxed without the elephants moaning at them. But I have no doubt that they are somewhere in the background just waiting to cause trouble. So relaxing just to sit and listen to the birds and to watch these guys drink. Man, such a treat. Like I said, I don't often get to see them this relaxed in the vehicle and on foot. This is so cool. So at the moment they're kind of on their own here at the waterhole, but it's not uncommon to actually see other animals hanging out with giraffe because of their height, and they actually have very good eyesight as well. They often alert the other animals if there's danger in the area. So especially at a waterhole, which at this time of the year, being the dry season, is a very dangerous place with predators. You often see impala, zebra, baboons even, that'll hang around with these giraffe just for safety, and then they move off into the bush somewhere. They're like the neighborhood watch of the bush. So I've got some answers coming in. Rose and Safari Cat, you are absolutely bang on. It is the okapi, and the okapi, similar to the giraffe, is a very odd looking animal. You find them in Central Africa in the rainforests, and they don't have that neck like the giraffe, but they do have that long face, and they're kind of dark brown in color. They've got some vertical stripes. But if you saw them together, you would kind of see the resemblance. And that's the only living relative to the giraffe, actually, is that okapi. So well done, guys. I thought that was a difficult question, but anyway. Who am I? who am I to say? You guys are on it today. I love it. Absolutely love it. So I often have guests who will say to me, oh, look at their eyelashes. They've got such stunning eyelashes. Like, how do you get eyelashes like that? And there's a very good reason for their eyelashes, besides just looking beautiful. You often find them sticking their head into trees to get to leaves. And often those trees have got some pretty crazy thorns. And so those eyelashes actually protect them against the leaves and some of the twigs from actually sticking into the eye. So even though they look stunning, they do have a reason as to why they've got those eyelashes. Everything in the bush has got a reason, obviously. I think this one knows we're watching it, and it's kind of like trying to think, am I being spied on? So, Khopotso, you have asked, does the wildebeest Great Migration have a specific leader? Or do they know their way around the Serengeti? So, it is a natural phenomenon. It is an instinct. So, it is, I'm sure, at the time that it happens, one just decides to go. But it isn't necessarily a leader that goes, okay, guys, let's just go ahead and do it, and just let's get it over and done with. 1, 2, 3, let's go. It's just an instinctual thing that they follow each other around, and they move around looking, and it's basically governed by food and water, essentially. So no, not unlike the elephants that have got a matriarch. The giraffe and zebra will just kind of move off on a natural cycle. So Sandy Franklin, good morning, or good morning to you. You're saying you're late as usual. Don't worry, Sandy, I'm always late. You can ask my friends. I'm always late to the party. And you're asking, what have you missed? Well, you've missed quite a lot. Besides our riveting discussions about whether elephants communicate via flatulence, we had the most amazing sighting of some rhino, a rhino calf suckling, which was phenomenal. And I particularly enjoyed Botswana, where we saw all those zebra and elephants and everything. So there's been some really cool sightings, lots of ellies, plenty ellies, but besides the rhino, just the usual suspects. And I'm glad you've joined us. It's good to have you with us. Well, I don't really have to explain the obvious of what's happening on television. Oh, great. These guys will defecate every half an hour to 45 minutes. Their digestive system is shocking. They only digest about between 40 and 45% of what they eat. They are the great seed dispersers of the bush. That's their role, and so they kind of every half an hour just are plopping out these perfect little compost heaps, and in the summertime have got fruit and berries that have gone through the gut, and that warmth and water has germinated them, and it's a perfect little place to grow. But yeah, it's not uncommon to see those guys defecating. It's yeah, I mean, just look around the waterhole. There's evidence of them doing it all over the place, but it serves a purpose. As the summer comes, lots of insects go into there, namely the dung beetles, but lots of other insects go in there as well. And dung beetles are fascinating creatures. I love them. There's over 800 species of them, different species of dung beetle, and some of them live inside the dung. Some of them will fly into the dung. Yeah, it is. It's an amazing. It's an amazing kind of community that happens there. You even get what we call kleptocoprids, which are dung beetles that actually come and they wait for a dung beetle to roll its dung, and then they steal it. Can you believe it? Like, it's a hijacking of a dung ball. Can you believe it? Yeah, Africa's quite funny.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
And that's it for this morning's drive. She's just got her impala, everybody. And we're going to be heading out and seeing what animals we can find.
Just beautiful. So actually, both of I don't know if you guys have seen one of these guys before, but both the males and females have got horns. But yeah, these are These are stunning, absolutely stunning. And you generally, most of the time, find them in these kind of semi-arid environments, and they get most of their water from the food that they eat. Very similar to like a steenbok or a klipspringer. They'll drink when water's available, obviously, but yeah, most of the time they get their food from there. And it's quite, I know I've seen before with these guys, they can actually, they form massive mixed herds. Sometimes you can get up to like 400 antelope in one. Yeah, those grants can. I know we've moved on to the eland, but I was just so, I was so keen on having a look at it. Now we've gone back to our eland friend. The photo bomber, I think. I think in the front of the camera is looks like a massive area of elephant dung. There might be some other dung mixed in, obviously, but yeah, it looks like a big area of, looks like the the ablution block. Lots of bird life around the water holes as usual. What do we got there? Oh, come back. Come back for an identification. Oh, there we go. Now I'm stumped. I will need to consult my bird app on this one, guys. I think it's a weaver of some kind, but I don't actually know. Is it a thick-billed weaver? I will get back to you on this. I'm not going to lie and tell you we'll just call it the waterhole bird for now. I will get back to you and let you know what that is. It looks like a weaver of some kind. No, stay there. I need to identify you. We've got some zebra, some eland coming through to save me. Save me from having to figure out what bird this is. I will work on it for you guys, don't worry. I love those eland at the back there. Yeah, don't worry guys, I'll come back to you on that. Oh, nice. And listen, by the way, is talking about birds, is anybody, the last time I was on, I chatted to you guys about possibly making a bird list. Have you guys been honoring that promise that some of you made to me and kept your bird lists going? Yeah, I have been trying when I'm not on safari or not driving around the country delivering my child to to every sports event known to man. I've been watching and keeping an eye out on the birding, so let me know. Geez, all of a sudden things just kicked off here. Priscilla, thank you. So you're saying white-browed sparrow weaver? It could be Priscilla. I would need to have a look at it again. Yeah, it could very well be. In fact, I think, you know what, Priscilla, I think you are bang on. I think it is indeed a white-browed sparrow weaver. Well done. We can add that to the list. Thank you, Priscilla, for helping me out with that. Yeah, you normally see them in kind of bigger groups. They generally live in colonies. But that was a cool sighting. This is even better. That one giraffe in the middle of the screen looks huge. Now you know why they call it a dazzle of zebra. Beautiful. So Robin McLean, thank you so much. You were saying that another animal like that Grant's gazelle that you haven't seen is a tsessebe. So tsessebes are, you don't see them that often depending on what area you're in, Robin. They are actually our quickest of all the antelopes. They've got stamina for days. They're like long distance runners. Yeah, Kathy, I agree. Party crashing elephant, just coming in and bugging everyone. Check how he's pushing everyone off with his trunk. What a party pooper. Honestly. Grumps. I love it. So sorry, yeah, Robin, tsessebes. So I see them, I have a sighting of tsessebe maybe twice a year, either in Kruger Park, or I was in Moremi in May, and I saw tsessebe driving back to camp. They're beautiful animals, very strange looking animals, I got to say, but beautiful in their own right. And you can see they're built for long distance. So yeah, you never know. One might grace our presence one afternoon here on the broadcast, and we can all marvel at it because they really are stunning. Oh, jeez. I'm glad the zebra didn't move. That elephant's not getting his way.
Now this leopard that we're looking at is known by the name of Hlalamba.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
Join us on the greatest and largest game drive in the world.
I love it. Oh wait, we might have one coming in from the left side there now. How is that for awesome? Yeah, I thought so. Surrounded. Oh, look at this. Yes. Give that zebra bells. How cool is this? Check out that look on the elephant's face. He's like, oh, you're joking. What is wrong with you guys? I've chased lions off before and you guys just don't care. Man, I tell you. I love how the giraffe just hang out in the background and they're kind of just like, we'll just let the zebra get into trouble. We'll just get the zebra to do our dirty work for us. And then we'll swan on in and have a drink once the bullies have gone. Here in the background, the guinea fowl are there as well. Gee whiz, just one little lift of his trunk. What does that mean? Sure. Yeah, so I've got to tell you, the zebra are like elephant. They need to drink at least 2 to 3 times every day. They're very water dependent, especially these Birchall zebra, or plain zebra as some people call them. So, you know, they come hell or high water, they need to get their drink. Just got a message from Wildlife Lady, who sadly will be leaving us 20 minutes early. Wildlife Lady, thank you. I too have enjoyed your company. And yeah, from us and the tech team, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you, well, we'll hear from you soon. Thank you. So I think there's a truce. I think there was some negotiation going on off camera. And I think they've decided, you stand there and we'll come this side. And there's the zebra coming and listening to music. You'll see him just come past there. Check it in. Doom, doom, doom. Wonder what song he's listening to. But I think they've come to an arrangement now, which is great. Check the guinea fowl coming in now. I've got to be honest with you, and I don't mean to be nasty, but I've guarded long enough and had enough time with guinea fowl to really be quietly concerned about their intellect. What is... Sorry, I couldn't quite see on my screen if something went past there. If you guys saw it, just let me know what that was. I just saw something come past. Yeah, as I was saying, the guinea fowl. So, yeah, I'm quietly concerned about them because often they're about 5 minutes behind on the uptake. So there's been times where, you know, there's been lions that have chased something, or a leopard that's taken something, or, you know, something serious that's happened. And like 5 minutes later, they'll run into the area and be like, what's going on? What's going on? Does anyone know what happened? Let me know. They're a bit, I don't know. They're very nosy, or realistically they're a little bit slow. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm being nasty. You guys can let me know. But I don't think they'll be winning any spelling bees anytime soon. Let's be fair. So the elephant dominance today has been amazing, eh guys? There's ellies everywhere. We were just saying as well, at the beginning of the show, we were talking about elephant population and how many elephants there are and all of that kind of thing. And I mean, you guys can see, they're just everywhere. Although, to be fair, these guys are here all the time. I think they've almost like turned it into their local pub. They've probably decorated it and everything. See him scratching himself there. That's so cute, man. See, look. See the guinea fowl. They've just come in now, like, guys, listen, what's going on? Do you need help? Do you want me to call someone? Very strange. Oh, let's see if this giraffe can get it right. He's used the zebra as a bit of a deal breaker, little bit of a negotiator. And now let's see, he's a big boy, that giraffe. You can see those horns, or ossicles, as we call them. They're nice and thick and bald on the top. He's a big boy. Let's see if he can make a plan here and get in there. You see what I was saying earlier about giraffe being very cautious when there's other kind of, or any perceived danger, which would be the ellies in this case. He's very reluctant to drop down because of it's a big deal for them to drop their head and to drink. I think he'll go for it though. Lots of guinea fowl around. I can hear them calling off camera as well. Plenty of them. Yeah, he's just, I mean, we can't realistically see what's happening to the left. Although I think there might be one coming in, but we can't see what's happening to the left. There might be another elephant there that's kind of boxed him in a bit, because he is looking over that way. Shame. Luckily for the giraffe, they don't have to drink every day. They will, but they don't have to. In some areas, dry areas, and one comes into mind, the Huanib Desert, which I was very fortunate to be able to guide guests at one stage. If you guys ever get the opportunity to go anywhere in Namibia, but in particular to the Huanib Desert, please do yourself a favor and do it. It is just magnificent. But the giraffe don't get to drink every day there. They drink maybe every 2 to 3 days. So there we go. Nice. The terms of the negotiation included the giraffe, we are now sure of.
Hi everybody, looks like we have just located on a beautiful leopardess known as Lalamba.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website. Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a Wild Earth explorer, you won't miss a thing.
Incredible.
Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. The best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Cute. So we got a question from Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Thank you so much for your question. You are asking, is it possible to come across guinea fowl eggs in the bush? So Lucy, yes, it is. So their nest is not necessarily well hidden or well constructed. They generally, the females will obviously choose the nest sites, and they generally will try and find areas where the grass is quite long, because they like to lay their eggs kind of at the base roots of the grass. But they don't necessarily make a nest. They really just like dig a little hole that maybe is 5 centimeters deep. It's not very deep at all. And then they don't really even make a nest. I mean, I have seen a nest with some feathers in it, and some grass, but it's nothing elaborate. And so sometimes on a walk, it is possible to come across guinea fowl eggs in the bush. But let me tell you, that is another story altogether. Trying to identify birds' eggs because they're different colors and different sizes. And jeepers, sometimes I'll come across eggs. So generally speaking, in certain areas, you've got your lapwings and stuff that you kind of get used to what their eggs look like, but it can be difficult to kind of decipher. That's what walked across earlier. It's an oryx. Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, Lucy, it is possible, and a pretty boring nest, unfortunately for them. I see we've got a beautiful oryx, or gemsbok as we call it in Southern Africa. I love these guys. Very, very fortunate to see them in the drier areas of Southern Africa, and then obviously here in East Africa. They are stunning, stunning antelope. Honestly, there's I've got a photo that I took of one in Sierra Kafima, which is right up north Namibia on the Angolan border, kind of in the desert, busy staring at us with that background. It just was it's one of my most favorite photos ever. But they are just stunning animals, and highly adapted to their areas, which are drier. They can go for ages without water. Very, very, very selective feeders. They'll only go for things that have got high water content. Stunning animals, and beautiful. Let's see if he'll get a little visit here. See the warthog's still busy feeding there, or should I say drinking. There's a little butt in the air. Oops, I mentioned her butt and she's gone. So Kathy, last question of the day. On it again, and Kathy, thank you so much for engaging today with all the questions. You've been absolutely amazing, and we really appreciate it when you guys get involved and help us out. It just keeps it going. And Khopotso as well. Thank you so much for answering all the questions. So. And Lizzo, you've just come through as well. So both of you have said between 6 and 8 meters. So generally a male will be about 5.5 meters at their tallest. The females at about 4.5 meters. They're about a meter or so smaller than the males. So, I mean, it's huge. Absolutely huge. You can imagine 5.5 meters. It's next level. It's like a house. Unbelievable. And we basically are almost ending the show the way we started it, just with the bodyguards of the waterhole here. Crazy. They're going into, looks like their screensavers are coming on. Look at that. Oh, going into sleep mode. Oh, that's cute, man. How awesome is that? They're having a discussion as to how to discipline those unruly zebra. Showed them up on camera today. Tomorrow we will not let that happen. This is a nice shot for you guys to actually see. I was talking about their ears earlier. Look how thin that flap of skin is. Those veins. The veins are on the back end of the back side of the ear. But just look how thin that is. You imagine with them flapping that they can pass some really a large amount of cool air over those veins of theirs. It's a really nice. Look how tattered and worn those ears are. From walking through trees and past bushes, and he's seen it all. I think I may very well join him with a drink. But guys, we're nearly finished our show today. It's gone all too quickly, and I have I've really enjoyed being back with you guys. And thank you so much for entertaining me with all your answers and questions. I really love it when you guys interact with me. I'm so used to it being in the back of the game vehicle, so please feel free to just ask as many questions and get involved as much as possible. I absolutely love it. That's why we're here, right? To learn together. And it's been really wonderful. A perfect way to end off with these boys, and then the giraffe with the bubble gum by the looks of things in the background there. Beautiful. So guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you, and I hope to chat to and interact with a few of you guys soon. I hope you have the most amazing rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Don't forget that we've got the game drive starting in half an hour. So from Sean, thank you so much. You've been great. I appreciate it.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight, a journey to South Africa's wildlife wonders. Join us on an exciting virtual safari to relax, learn, and be inspired. Discover stunning landscapes, come to know our iconic animal stars, and witness profound moments in conservation. If you'd like to plan a safari adventure to these magnificent wildlife places, then visit Wild Earth Travel, where safari comes alive.